Today, we intend to delve into one of the most remarkable periods in Roman history, the Pax Romana, or Roman peace, a long era of stability and prosperity experienced by the powerful Roman Empire. But where did this tranquility originate, and what consequences did it entail? Join me as we journey into the depths of this golden age. From the late 2nd century BC, the Roman Republic became entangled in a series of devastating conflicts. This era of turmoil severely weakened the Republic's political structure and demonstrated that Rome's traditional institutions were no longer capable of maintaining stability. Power fell into the hands of ambitious individuals and their armies, from the wars of Marius and Sulla to the wars of Caesar and Pompey, and ultimately the conflicts following Caesar's assassination. The Roman Republic was on the verge of collapse. Violence, political instability, and continuous wars had transformed the face of Rome. The people were tired of war and longed for peace and stability. The conflicts between Marius and Sulla not only dragged Rome into bloodshed but also permanently altered its political structure, paving the way for the rise of the empire. This period of strife, which mainly occurred from 88 to 82 BC, was not merely a personal dispute between the two men but was rooted in the deep political divide within Roman society, between the two factions known as the Populars and the Optimates. Marius was a popular military figure who, through the reforms of the Roman army, played a significant role in the Republic's military successes. He repeatedly attained the consulship and showed attention to the demands of the common people. Therefore, Marius was recognized as a leader for the Populars faction. The Populars generally favored reforms benefiting the common people, land distribution, and the increased power of popular assemblies. In contrast, Sulla was an ambitious nobleman and a successful general. He defended the interests of the senators and the aristocratic class, and therefore was recognized as a leader for the Optimates faction. The Optimates believed that power should be in the hands of the Senate and the nobility and opposed reforms that would weaken their power. The climax of this rivalry occurred when the Senate appointed Sulla to command the war against Mithridates VI, the king of Pontus in Asia Minor. However, Marius and his supporters attempted to seize this command from Sulla and give it to Marius. This action enraged Sulla. Sulla, who was with his army in southern Italy at the time, marched on Rome in an unprecedented manner, and for the first time in Roman history, a Roman general seized the city of Rome with his army. Sulla entered Rome with his army and suppressed Marius's supporters. Marius was also forced to flee. However, with Sulla's departure to wage war against Mithridates, Marius returned to Rome and initiated a reign of terror, killing many of his opponents. Nevertheless, Marius soon died. After his victory in the war against Mithridates, Sulla returned to Rome once more and this time seized control of the government with greater power. He declared himself dictator for life and carried out a widespread purge, executing many of his adversaries. Sulla attempted to restore the power of the Senate and diminish the authority of the people's tribunes, but his violent actions demonstrated how precarious the Roman Republic had become. Following Sulla's resignation from power and his death, Rome once again entered a period of instability and power rivalries. The emergence of figures such as Pompey, Crassus, and Julius Caesar ushered in a new chapter of conflicts. These individuals, with their military strength and political influence, further weakened the structure of the Republic. Ultimately, the rivalry between Caesar and Pompey led to another civil war, which ended with Caesar's victory. However, Caesar's assassination once again plunged Rome into the vortex of civil war. It was after this that Augustus, Mark Antony, and Lepidus formed an alliance known as the Second Triumvirate, or Rule of Three Men, in 43 BC, which lasted until around 33 BC. After Caesar's assassination, his heirs, Augustus, Antony, and Lepidus, united and defeated the assassins. Subsequently, they disagreed over power, and their rivalry ultimately led to a war between Octavian and Antony. During this period, the powerful Parthian Empire of Iran was considered a threat to the Roman Republic. During the reign of Phraates IV, the Roman army repeatedly suffered significant defeats against the Iranians, particularly Crassus's defeat at the Battle of Carrhae, which dealt a severe blow to Rome's military reputation and demonstrated that Rome faced a serious power in the east. Phraates IV was a ruthless king who killed his family to gain power, causing Iranian nobles to flee. One of these nobles offered Mark Antony cooperation against Phraates. Antony outwardly requested the return of Roman prisoners and standards, while secretly preparing for war. Ultimately, Mark Antony and the Roman army were defeated again in battle with the Iranians. Thus, the Roman Republic was in a period of turmoil, internal conflicts, and external threats. At this time, Augustus was able to seize power by defeating Mark Antony. This event marked the beginning of a new era for Rome, known as the Imperial Period, and Augustus was titled the first Roman emperor. Augustus well understood that Rome needed peace and stability to heal its wounds and return to its former glory. Therefore, with his shrewdness and wisdom, he transformed the unstable Roman Republic into a stable empire. After gaining power, Augustus decided to make peace with the Parthian Empire through diplomacy. Negotiations between Iran and Rome during the reign of Phraates IV led to peace. In this peace treaty, Phraates IV agreed to return the Roman standards to them. Augustus's main goal was to establish the Pax Romana. Through extensive political, economic, and social reforms, he laid the foundations for a long period of peace and prosperity, understanding that continuous wars hindered the empire's progress. The traditional beginning of the Pax Romana is considered to be after Augustus consolidated his power in 27 BC, and this period lasted for about 200 years, until the death of Marcus Aurelius in 180 AD. The Pax Romana was an unparalleled era of prosperity in Roman history. During this age, security and stability fostered flourishing trade and construction, culture and art advanced, and unity throughout the empire increased.